I don't know about you, but I want everything that Jesus has for me.
Amen.
And if you know Jesus like I know him, he ain't got no potty meat blessing for us. If you know the Lord and Savior like I know him, he don't want us to settle for a potty meat blessing. Because a potty meat blessing is one that will satisfy the soul, or satisfy the body, or satisfy the taste right now. But Jesus said, if you just wait on me, I'll give you that blessing that you asked for. But what is a potty meat blessing? A potty meat blessing is just what it is. A blessing that don't go nowhere. A blessing that just satisfies you right then and right now. But when Jesus bless you, it's an everlasting. It's an everlasting blessing. It will everlasting thirst. You won't go hungry no more. But when you eat a potty meat blessing, you still gonna be in need of some more food. Am I right about it? Look to your neighbor and say, neighbor, what Jesus has for you is for you. But what he has for me, it is for me. And I know it's not a potty meat blessing. And the reason why I know it wasn't a potty meat blessing, because when I look around the room right now, he dressed us up this morning in the finest attire. He gave us an automobile that get us from point A to point Z. He put clothes on our back this morning. He put shoes on our feet so we ain't naked or we ain't hungry for anything. But he gave us a choice. He said, choose ye this day in whom you will serve. And he said, if you choose me this day to make me your chosen one, then you won't have room on the inside to receive what I got for you, and it won't be a potty meat blessing.
Breathe, real breathe. That's all right.
But Jesus didn't come when you wanted him to come. Am I right about it? But if you just kept your hand in his hand, he came right on time, didn't he? And that let me know I don't have to have a potty meat blessing. Because when I'm in need of, I can just look to the hills from whence coming all my help, and begin to call on the one that said, I got all power in my hand. If you just choose me this day to make me your Lord and Savior, I give you the desires of your heart. I don't know about you, but God's been good to us. Am I right about it? And if God's been good to us, we don't have to settle for any kind of blessing. Am I right about it? But here we have today, we have one of these special features, which is one of the major things from Jesus, according to St. Matthew. Here, one of the special features when Matthew, which is found to be the gospel of the church, Matthew said down centuries, God has been widely accepted and being written especially for the church. And Matthew is telling us that it has been arranged, talking about the church, for a special reason.
Amen.
And it has been made to let the church know that they don't have to accept anything that the world gives them.
Amen.
But now, Matthew here is talking to the church, telling them because God is not any type of God.
Amen.
If we want a blessing from God, we got to do some things.
Right.
Am I right about it?
Amen.
And the reason why I say I don't want a potty meat blessing, I want me a prime rib blessing. Because I know if I get me a prime rib blessing, after the meat have been inspected by God, then God will give that meat exactly what is needed. Am I right about it? And I'm using the word meat now as the vessel that God created. And by us being the vessel, we can be the meat at the same time getting the food from the right source. And that's none other than Jesus. Am I right about it? But here we found in the book of Matthew, Jesus, or should I say, then came to Jesus, scribes and Pharisees, which were at Jerusalem, saying these things. Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? And here they began to ask Jesus this question. For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. And you know that it was a tradition back then that they wash their hands before they eat.
That's right.
And if you look at how some people partake of the Lord's Supper, you see some washing their hand before they eat or partake of the Lord's Supper. Because it was a tradition, things done back then. And then they began to say, why do they do these things? But he answered and said unto them, I'm talking about Jesus. We have to be very careful of what we ask Jesus. We have to be ready for an answer. We might not like the answer, but I found out any time you ask Jesus an answer, a question, he will give you an answer. Am I right about it? And sometime when Jesus gives us the answer, we don't have ourselves positioned in the right mindset to hear what Jesus is telling us. Because when they ask Jesus that question, why do they do these things? When you know it is a tradition culture. And Jesus began to use some reverse psychology on them. And that's what I like about Jesus. When we ask Jesus a question, he think about it. He gives you time to position yourself to receive the answer. And one thing about Jesus, if you read the word, he's not always directly giving you an answer. He always uses either a parable or reverse psychology. Because the said, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
Amen.
And that was the charge they did against Jesus. That he broke the tradition of what they used to do. Am I right about when you look around the churches today, a lot of people get caught up in tradition.
Amen.
And when somebody come in and rattle that tradition, when they come in to test the water,
Amen.
or when they come in to change tradition ways,
Amen.
they begin to bring some charges against that person. And that's what they did with Jesus right now. Jesus began to ask them that same question. Why do you break the tradition of your Lord and Savior? Then he began to go on to say, for God commandment saying, honor thy father and honor thy mother. And he that curses father or mother, let him die the death that is coming to him. So every now and then we have to be careful how we challenge those that come in and change things of tradition. Some traditions need to be done away with. But some traditions need to stay in place. Because the Word of God never changes, and it will never. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So if you accusing me, Jesus said, of breaking this law, but why are you breaking your own law? Why are you not honoring your mother as I commanded you in the 10 Commandments? Why are you not honoring your fathers as I had commanded you? Why are you putting your mothers and father to death? Well, how am I doing that? Put a pin in it. We're going to come back and take that pin out. And then Jesus went on to say, but ye say now, whosoever should say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. And honor not his father nor his mother, he shall be free. I'm just telling you what Jesus said. He said, thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your own tradition. Meaning that you're doing what you want to do. When you get ready, you're doing what you want to do. How you get ready, but when it comes to my word, Jesus said, you want to curse me because I told you what thus said my Father? Jesus said, I dare you to come against what I tell you. And the reason why he said that, he began to call them. In verse 7, he said, you hypocrites. Well, did Isaiah prophesy all that you said? This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, but in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrine the commandment of man. That's why I say, he said, when you come into his presence, into the house, worship me in truth and in spirit. Don't come before me in my house in vain repetition. Don't come into my house with lies on your lips. But then I began myself this question. I said, Lord, how can worship be in vain? How can we come into your house that you have set aside to be holy, sanctified, and consecrated? How can we come in here in vain repetition? And Jesus said, because you come in teaching for the doctrine of the commandment of men. You come into my house for your own reason. You come into my house to compromise. You come into my house to please others than me. So how I dare you to come into my house with unclean lips and an unrighteous heart? I found out that things